I worked for the Chicago Tribune for 11 years, and the newspaper was dying, and we had layoffs every month towards the end of my career. And so I was desperately trying to find a way out. And my really good friend whom I met in college, his name is Wee Win, you might have heard of him, was just adamant about why are you still in the newspaper world? Come join the private sector. And he inspired me, and so did Anna Cooperberg and Ben Chrisman. And I would spend my miserable lunch hours looking at their work and dreaming about another life. And I'm so honored to actually to call them friends and to be in this side of the photographic world. And my gosh, I've got so many more friends now as a wedding photographer than I ever did in 20 years as a photojournalist. It's an amazing family. I miss shooting every day. I'm a very emotional photographer. I shoot with my heart. So I shot all the sad stories. I went twice to India to document the tsunami. I covered Hurricane Katrina. I really am very comfortable with emotion. And so, no, I actually can get all my little touchy-feely emotional needs met at weddings. Weddings, they're not emotionless. And as long as you're comfortable getting the camera close and being present and feeling while your subjects are feeling, you can get some really great moments. You have to be truly dedicated to your craft. You are going to shoot the same thing every week, and it's up to you to reach out to mentors and reach out for inspiration and find new ways to challenge yourself. I can't shoot people cutting the cake every weekend the same way without wanting to tear my already short hair out. But what I teach my students is I really want them to have a toolkit, an arsenal of things that they can reach for, so that when you're feeling stuck and when you're feeling uninspired, you have some backup and you've got new ways to actually record the same scene. Another thing is you have to be emotionally invested. And it's difficult if you don't shoot an engagement session and you only see your clients once before you shoot them. You have to find a way to be emotionally invested. Otherwise, you're just not going to care. And you're going to complain about how long the day is, and you're going to complain about the fact that you didn't get fed. And these things are not important. You get to spend the entire day with your camera, and you get to create magic. And that's actually what we do. We get a 250th of a second to capture one moment that incorporates all 5 senses. Do you know how fortunate we are? This is the greatest job in the world. I exude positivity as much as I can because that's the kind of person I want to be. And that's the kind of person I want to be around. Being around negative energy doesn't do me any good. And going home and hating on my work after I've made it doesn't do me any good. And I really want our family and our community of photographers to don't be afraid to be positive, and let's support each other, and let's kick the negativity to the curb, because it's not going to help us as artists grow. Absolutely. So when I left the Chicago Tribune, my first question was, how am I going to possibly get any work? Because I'm in a mass of former photojournalists looking for a new life, and they're all choosing weddings. The answer is, as long as you are authentic and as long as you are yourself, you will find work. If you shoot and try to copy others and you don't have your own clear style, you might have a difficult time getting bookings. I'm not afraid to just be me. You know, I can't be Ben Chrisman. I love Davina and Daniel. I can't be them. I can only be Candice Cusic and hope that that's good enough for my clients. You know, just, you've got to be you. You do you, let us do ourselves, and you will find people who want to work with you. And that's the key. You want people who are excited to work with you, not just people who need to hire a wedding photographer. The bride hung her wedding dress up on the wall, and I started with mom, very close to mom. And she was closer to the dress. And the moment she put her hand on her mouth, I knew that she was having a touching reaction. And so she stood by the dress only for a second, and then she just started walking to the other side of the room. And so I just shot and backed up at the same time. I had a lighting assistant to my right, add a little fill, and then the girl came in to comfort her. And I'm very fortunate that the dress was still hanging. And I'm also really happy that they felt comfortable having an emotional moment with me present. And I wasn't only present, I was right there with them in that circle, feeling what they were feeling. And I'm very thankful that she felt comfortable enough to share that with me. Honestly, I feel like we have to be comfortable. We have to be comfortable approaching strangers and getting close. And if you're not, you will miss a lot of the shots because you'll talk yourself out of shooting them before you even try. And I had not met the mother before. But as soon as I arrive, I am just, saying hello to everyone, and I'm asking them to please just ignore me. So when you get the camera close and you talk yourself out of it, or you think, oh, if I get the camera close, I'm going to ruin a moment. You don't really know whether or not that's going to happen. Don't second guess what people will or will not allow you to see. And it was only just for a few seconds that I was able to get a shot of mom crying over the dress. It was only just a few seconds. It's not like I was there 5 minutes. But as long as you're present and positive and confident and happy, people will let you in. If you're bored and tired and bitchy, absolutely not. They're not going to let you even close. You can keep the camera up to your eye all day and still smile, and people will see that. And yes, I do talk to my subjects and try to make them feel comfortable, but I've also learned that I need to shut up and let my subjects have a moment. And I also truly appreciate putting a camera up in front of someone and actually just watching and waiting to see what they will do. And when they get nervous because I'm maybe taking a little longer than most people would when they're taking a picture, that's actually a moment. Put the camera up in front of someone and just watch what happens. You'll see 10 different moments, but you have to feel comfortable with silence. You have to be comfortable with silence to see something you never would have seen if you had just been talking. Deanne Arbus. Deanne Arbus was an influential photographer who took her own life, and a brilliant street shooter. And I would love to actually just walk around with her and just watch her work. No, absolutely not. We have to nurture our inner artist, and we have to find inspiration and what makes us fly. And it's not going to just be weddings. If you're just picking up your camera on the weekends, just when you get paid, I do fear that your artistry is going to suffer for that. You really need to embrace your camera as part of your daily routine, and you need to walk down the street and just see things in a different way. You need to look at light in a different way. You need to do everything you can so that when you enter your wedding, you are ready for whatever and you can nail it. What's wrong with taking your camera to the grocery store? What's wrong with taking your camera to the drugstore? There's nothing wrong with that, and you have everything to gain from doing so. Studying the light, studying how it hits people's faces, working on your own comfortable walls and see, how close can you get to strangers? These are all things that we can do to make ourselves stronger at our own job. But if you just limit your shooting to just weddings and just on the weekends and just when you're making money, how are you really fueling your craft? I can't wait to actually be at a conference that's not a conference. The fact that we actually get to bond, and I actually want to walk around and get to know everybody. And maybe somebody could show me how to play ping pong. That would be great. If I could just learn how to play a proper game of ping pong, that's all I need. I love the actual bonding experience that you have provided instead of just sitting in a conference room all day.